2, 3, 4.
Hi guys, and welcome to another video by Vegan and Frodo. Thanks for tuning back in again. As you can see from the title of this video, I decided to do a quick video on live or fly in fly out FIFO abbreviation worker. As some of you may know, I worked in oil and gas for the last 5 years and I recently left that job. But something that I thought some people might be interested in as people who are getting into that sort of role, that sort of job, industry, and just others, and what is it like, what is out there. And I thought I would share a little bit of snippets behind the scene in this video. Throughout the video, you're going to see the sort of typical little camp rooms that people get to stay at when they live in the middle of nowhere. It's just, you will see from the video, I flew into Roma, and that's sort of where our main base is, and the company that I work for would go to different locations, different sites, and perform a service. So as working for a drilling company in energy business and oil and gas business, you sometimes as a fly in fly out worker will need to stay on site for 2-3 weeks in a row, and then you go back home for that even time sort of break it. Some companies do it 3 on 2 off and so on, but basically that's the main basis of the business. Of course, living off site, somewhere in the middle of on site, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, outside of the big or even small little towns, can be challenging. So what companies did is they've created little camps, and depending on where you work, the location, and the company that you're working for, the camps will change and vary in size. Some will be very small and not really very advanced. Others will be more exciting and advanced, like the one that I got to stay at in this video that you will get to see. And basically, through your life there, you're working 12-hour shifts usually. Sometimes it alternates from morning, like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. or, you know, depending on who you're working for and how you're working for, usually you'll get like night shifts and day shifts. Or it could be just around the clock if you're providing some sort of service if you're working for a service company. Hello, y'all, reporting from probably one of my very last shifts out in Roma. Cute little town. Not overly much going on. I feel like nothing really changes really too much here. I've been here quite a few times. I've been traveling in and out of Roma the last 4.5 years. I used to go for runs when I used to be based out of here quite regularly. I need to get a SIM card because not many other providers apart from Telstra can connect here. The Woolworths. And yeah, loads of memories here. Now, from my perspective as a female, it has been quite interesting. It has its moments, I'll tell you. You do get a bit of a kind of exclusion, I guess, from the real world. You sort of get to focus on different things like reading, working, advancing yourself, even studying. Sometimes you're just too exhausted to do any sort of other work, and you're just there, you work, you eat, you sleep for the majority of the time that you're not working. Now, the washing, the food, the bedding, all of that is provided, as you will see. And usually the food is like buffet food, and you can either discuss with the chef if you have specific preferences food-wise, or you know, you eat out of the big buffet of what you're choosing. And in fact, a lot more work in the recent years, through even that short kind of stint of 5 years that I've been in the industry, I've seen a lot of development with, you know, the food improvement, the conditions improvement, the companies thinking of how we can make workers' life better, which means they included gyms, they included, you know, playrooms with different sort of things you can play with, pool table, and just, you know, depending on location, depending on the company, there'll be different kind of variety of things. There could be a movie library so you can choose from. There will be some sort of internet. Also, with these foreign locations, or these rather spread through locations, the internet network that works over there is Telstra. So something that you do need to make sure if you want to have some sort of service, some sort of connection with the outside world, is having a Telstra SIM card, which again you see me getting.
This is totally for record keeping for one day when, well, very soon I won't be here. So I think it'll be really fun for you to see what I'm wearing, what I look like in my red coveralls.
Total mess because I'm about to go wash this and depart, so I'm just getting all my things in, wearing all the PPE, gonna drive to the wash bay. Watch me go.
Millennials and them.
Learned how to drive a manual here. They even taught me that. Although, I mean, I did start that process. Wash bay. Gonna wash the truck. So this is the type of rooms you get to stay at when you're basically at the rig, at the camp. This one is actually a really big one. Huge closets, TV, there's a fridge in your room, there's, you know, your small bathroom. This is one of the better ones that I've stayed at, really, because it's really big. You have a huge room to yourself and there are rows. Let's go for a little walk and I'll show you what I can. There's basically containers, right? And there's rooms after rooms. There's also like the kitchen, there's also the gym, games room even, and you know, like loads of kind of entertainment. So look at it. Can't really see. I was trying to look into the thing. Can't see anything. But anyway, see all these rooms, tons and tons and tons of rooms. Pretty exciting, and I think that's one of the things that I really do like about doing this. But I never get to do this. I never get to go on the rig and stay. And it's not that I want to do it non-stop all the time, but I think, you know, like a few days a month, actually, I think would be fun. Is what it is. We'll see how it goes. Drive here was pretty cool. Saw a few echidnas, saw a few kangaroos, do a couple of turns too soon, so then I had to like reverse back and come out and stuff. Anyway, it's 7 o'clock and I'm hungry, so I should go eat and then we'll chat a little bit more. Being vegan, it actually hasn't made it very difficult for me on site. I found that I've been able to get food, and even in the very beginning, 5 years ago, when I was staying in camps which were not quite as big and as, I want to say, almost luxurious, even though I know it's not a luxury, but they're pretty cool compared to some other containers I stayed in. You know, sometimes you get containers where you stay 2 people per room or 4 people per room, depending on how busy the location is and how big is the camp. So there's loads of different interesting things to amuse yourself with, so people don't get too depressed at this fun half of their life here. Let's check out the food. I have always had really good relationships with the chefs, so I was able to just ask for what is needed. I'd come and I'd describe my diet, or like the way I eat, that I'm very fully plant-based, and they've always met my needs. And when there is a buffet, always there's some sort of like salads, there's always like bread and cereal and things like that, as well as some sort of roasted veggies. Because see, that's another thing, they don't want people to be gaining weight and feeling unhealthful and unhealthy at these places, especially being stuck there if you're on ongoing constant rotation for half of the year, half of your life. however long you will work with that company in that contract. So of course they do a lot of focus on a healthy lifestyle, healthy food, exercising, and just sort of kind of implementing those more healthful habits. So in some camps there's even little social areas, right, where you can play, and you can, there was even like a little jungle gym in the one that I stayed in, but there's also a little bar sometimes. Of course there is limit, and you can only usually go with like a couple of drinks with the people that you're working with for sort of team building purposes. As you can see, you can also do laundry. You need many rows of washing machines and dryers, few rooms like this. And over there on the other side, there's a huge cafeteria. There's a gym on the left, on the right, I mean. There's also a bar. And on the left, there is a yoga studio, games room. I personally would recommend this sort of lifestyle to other people, because I haven't fully done 100%, you know, a year of fly in, fly out type stuff. But I know people who have done it, and in their time off, the biggest benefit from it is obviously extra financial reimbursement and the availability of time in your time off when you're at home. So you get a lot more time off when you're at home. So for example, you're working there for 12 weeks, 2 weeks straight, and then you come back home and you have 2 weeks or even week and a half off completely, which is amazing, because I think you can do just so much in that time. You can study, you can obviously save much more money as well, not spending all that money while you're on site because everything is paid for, and you're also earning more money while you're doing that. You're also learning a lot more on the job because you're there doing it physically for a while. And then again, in the time off, you can do whatever it is that you want to do, enjoying life, going on trips, and it's, if you're clever about it, it can be really fun. I think there's an aspect of it which depends on your personality and what kind of person you are. I feel like it is definitely not a bad option for someone who is young, you know, who doesn't have a family, doesn't have, you know, children or, you know, husband or wife, which they, you know, obviously want to be seeing every night. If you're single, if, you know, you don't have any big obligations and you're just figuring yourself out, I think it's an interesting alternative, an interesting job, and you can just learn so much from it whilst getting some sort of qualification on the side or working on a business on the side or whatever it is that you want to do. So I think it's definitely a really cool opportunity, really good way to work and spread your time. But you also do need to understand that you're sort of almost living two lives. You have your life on site, which is half of the year, and then you have your other life back in the city when you're back at home. So that can be really difficult for people, and there's obviously a lot of social engagements that you would miss out on as well whilst you're out there. Plus, when you do come back, those 5 days of the week, usually people are working, so you might not get to see them as much. But the benefit of it at the same time is that you have all this time to do a lot of things that you want to get done, and when your friends and family and stuff are free in the evenings and the weekends, you can really dedicate a lot of time to them. So in a nutshell, I think working as a female, doing fly in, fly out, even though I didn't fully do like huge years, I only ever done like a few months, and then I'll be based in the office, and then I'd go back on site, do a few hitches, like fly in, fly out for a few weeks, and then I'll be back in the office based. I think it's a good experience. I think as a female, you don't need to be worried or concerned. You just need to be really self-aware and understanding what you're getting into a little bit. It's a fun experiment, and it's really, I think it's challenging. It opens your eyes to different way of living, different lifestyles. It's really good to have this sort of hands-on experience on what is going on, and I have definitely enjoyed the time I spent doing it. Would I do it again? Maybe. You know, I still don't have any kids, so I don't think would be such a big issue for me, although I do have sort of regular fitness regime and friends and sort of like network that I like to participate in, including all of my hobbies and activities outside. But there are definitely a lot of benefits to doing this sort of life. anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have enjoyed this video. You found something interesting or, you know, thought-provoking in it, or at least found out a little bit more about Fly In Fly Out Live. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Let me know your experience doing it, if you have done it, or would you ever do that? I know there's a lot of controversy in the topic, so at the end of the day, I think it depends on the person and what they're comfortable with, and obviously like their network of family and friends and their responsibilities back in the city or wherever they live. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.